Hi, I'm Richard Murphy, and this is the 30th in the video series on the importance of tax transparency that I am hosting, and which is being made jointly by the University of Sheffield, where I work as Professor of Accounting Practice, the Global Initiative for Fiscal Transparency, and the International Budget Partnership. In this video, I draw together some conclusions from this whole series and summarize the key issues that I hope you will take from it. In this series on tax transparency, we have explored the idea that unless a tax system is truly transparent, it cannot deliver the tax revenues that a government desires from its economy, will not assist the government in delivering effective economic management of a jurisdiction, will not deliver the economic, industrial and social goals that a government hopes that the tax system will support, will leave people dissatisfied with the operation of that tax system, resulting in low tax morale and too little tax paid. Important as these goals are, it is also important to note that tax transparency helps counter some profoundly negative outcomes that a malfunctioning tax system can create, including criminogenic activity by those who try to cheat or abuse the tax system, unfair competition, because those businesses that do not pay their taxes secure an economic advantage that they should not enjoy, increased inequality, because those not paying the taxes they owe when others do will accumulate wealth inappropriately, causing tensions within society, a lack of trust within a society and the communities within it, a lack of trust in a government, a failure of the political system as the tax system cannot deliver desired policy outcomes. Tax transparency is in that case not just about securing a strong, effective and well-supported tax system. It is also about delivering a fair, transparent, accountable and trustworthy society in which people and communities can flourish. You could tell why we think tax transparency is important in that case. As a result, we have suggested that to achieve its tax transparency goals, a government should publish a tax strategy, setting out its goals for the tax system and each major component of it. Publish an annual budget explaining in some detail the taxes that it proposes to raise. Protect the privacy of taxpayers within the tax system. Properly fund its tax authority so that it might undertake the tasks expected of it in a fair, competent and fraud-free manner. Publish accounts explaining the taxes actually collected in a year, with comparisons being made to prior years and budgets. Undertake tax gap and tax spillover analyses so that underpayments of tax can be understood and the effectiveness of the tax system can be approved. And engage the public throughout the process, maximizing the chance that they will understand what is required and effectively contribute to the process. We are aware of the challenges that these recommendations create. This is why the Global Initiative for Fiscal Transparency Principles for Tax Policy and Administration are organized into 14 separate principles and in turn are grouped according to the likely difficulty in achieving them. Those groups identify basic, intermediate, advanced and aspirational goals for any tax system. It is very important to note that no tax system in the world currently achieves the goals that we set out. Some attempt a great many of these tasks. None does them all. It is also fair to note that we doubt that, even if they did, any government would ever collect all the tax that is due to them. There will always be room for improvement in tax systems everywhere. We think tax transparency systems are key to achieving that improvement. That does, however, reinforce one of the key points we have made in this series. Whilst we strongly recommend that tax systems be made transparent, we do not suggest that everything we recommend be tried at once. Creating tax transparency is a long-term goal, and starting with some of the basic or intermediate principles is a very good place to begin, especially if the more advanced principles are out of reach of a tax authority at present. We suspect that every tax authority could seek to achieve the basic principles, as well as many of those at intermediate level. What this means is that this course should have provided something for everyone who is interested in creating transparent tax systems that best serve the communities in which they live and work. There is much more information on the ideas that we have discussed in these videos in the Global Initiative for Fiscal Transparency's publication, Making Tax Work, which I co-authored with Andrew Baker. There is perhaps one last point to make. We think that establishing a tax system based on the principles that we outline in these videos will pay for itself, not only in terms of enhanced revenue collection, but also in more directed and focused tax policies, better connected to the delivery of a government's social, economic, and sustainability policy objectives. This process will, we also suggest, be helped by informed civic debate and participation in the policy making aimed at making tax both more democratic and inclusive, and therefore more effective. That is our hope. Good luck with your tax-related activities. We hope we have given you a fresh perspective on those. If we have, please let us know. As we have said time and again, tax transparency is an ongoing process. Your feedback will help our involvement in it.